Garrettson.
Pat, you are way too kind, my
Tom
friend.
and I were co-workers at WDLB Radio in the newsroom back in the mid-1990s. That's been a long time ago, my friend. And it's an honor to be at your side calling the parade today.
Right back at you, Pat, because you've covered, when you left WDLB, you started, or helped start, the digital revolution of farm news, farm communication. I mean, I remember the days when farmers would, if they didn't get tuned to their radios at a certain time for
Media has
for
changed.
the markets,
It really
to hear the
has.
farm markets, to hear the farm news, they were left in the dark.
It was, and I thank you for that. I want to say that we're coming to you live on Charter Spectrum 990, as well as platforms like Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and MarshfieldBroadcasting.com. We're also on the Marshfield Now channel. If you're watching us on demand or on one of the social media apps after the fact, our parade today taking place on June 1st, 2024. They were forecasting kind of muggy conditions today. Unfortunately, we've had rain since 7 o'clock this morning, but some of the crowds have come out. So we do want to mention that Dairy Fest and all of the festivities of Dairy Fest are organized by Mackey. It's the Marshfield Area Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Denise Sonneman is the executive director, and Dawn Krieger is the new program coordinator. Dawn started just a few weeks ago, and her first duty was go ahead and organize Dairy Fest for us. Welcome to the job. Here's your duties. And Dawn, of course, grew up going to this event, and so she gets it now. So some of the highlights of today's parade, barring the weather, unless the rain picks up more or if someone has to pull, one of the highlights of today's parade is the UW-Madison Marching Band. And Tom, I know you go to a lot of professional sporting events. You've been to Camp Randall for Wisconsin Badger football games. They do that infamous fifth quarter. They do the halftime show. You've seen this band a number of times.
They are fabulous, and they share their talents here, whether it's on the float, whether they're sitting on a truck bed, or they're sitting by the fairgrounds. They've done concerts there. They're just first class.
They've been here a number of times, and we can't wait to see them, barring, of course, the weather. We still do have some light rain, but the parade is coming down. Just for your information, so the parade basically comes together on that West 2nd Street corridor, kind of in back of the post office. They then take a right on Central Avenue. We are located in front of the old City Hall Plaza, kind of across from Pick and Save. They continue to go down south to 14th Street, where they hang a left and go to the fairgrounds, and then the parade decommissions there. Some of the other activities that we have going on this weekend, if people can come out, is the co-ed softball games going on at the Marshfield Fairgrounds. There's something called Center City Fun Day that's at the Community Square, the Wenzel Family Plaza, where there will be food trucks, face painting, live entertainment throughout the day. And then tonight there will be a beer garden at the Nuts Deep 2 facility, so there's some night entertainment there. We do want to bring attention to something before the parade quite gets to us. If our camera people can show the banners, there's something called the Marshfield Honor Walk, and this is a special project of Kathy Banks from Heinzen Printing, Paul Rogers of Rogers Cinema, and the American Legion. And back in 2018, they started this project where families could nominate a loved one who served in the military or in armed forces, not necessarily killed in the line of duty or whatever, and they're sponsored by those families. There's 60 slots. And they stay up through the summer. They're taken down after Veterans Day, where the city then puts up the Christmas decorations. But these banners are then donated back to the families. We want to make a special note, Tom, that starting next year, these banners will also include police officers, firefighters, and EMT officials, because they kind of give of their time as well.
Well, this year they started expanding this to include people wounded in action. Marshfield became a Purple Heart City just a few weeks before this June Dairy Fest celebration. Mm-hmm. And it was really quite the
a Purple Heart City is basically.
And I'm looking, and we have our great producers that are telling me where to look. But I'm looking at the Purple Heart City banner that is just beyond one of our camera people's shoulders.
So the
here.
Purple Heart City is a designation that is given by an organization, a branch of the federal government. And Marshfield got this designation from what they do to honor our veterans. Obviously, we have a Veterans Parkway, the different parks that we have, of course, the banner program that Paul and Kathy had put together. And if you're interested in having a banner for either a military veteran or, like we said, an EMT, a police officer, a firefighter, you can call Kathy Banks at business hours at Heinzen Printing, and she can put you on the list for next year. There's only 60 slots available, but it's just a tremendous program, and we wanted to bring some attention to that as well. So, in addition to that, we also wanted to say that we did invite Pat Allen to our booth today, but she had another family obligation. Pat is the widow of Bill Allen. We lost Bill in 2007. We miss him every day. He was our boss at WDLB. He was the station manager. The reason why we bring that up is Bill was the parade announcer for decades. He was the PA announcer, and he and Pat had all these pet projects. And it's not nice to talk about a lady's age, but Pat is 91 years old, and she outworks people half her age. And so she wanted to be here. She wanted us to pass along that there will be a golf outing in Bill's honor, probably a scholarship fund program, coming up at River Edge Country Club on the 7th of July. So if you like to golf and if you want to golf for a good cause, that golf outing coming up next month.
Okay, let's just interrupt the discussion for a minute to let you know that the parade is getting closer and closer to us. From where we're sitting, and we're sitting about halfway in the 600 block of South Central Avenue, we are also seeing the police car that comes by, that generally starts the parade. We have the soldiers, Marshfield veterans from all branches of the military, and the U.S. flag, and you will see people stand up and salute the flag as it goes by. That's parade tradition for the spectators.
Parade tradition for the Marshfield Police Department to have a squad car to be the first vehicle going through. Marshfield Police Department is under the direction of Chief of Police Jody Gerwink, and so they are the first car. That's followed by the VFW Post 1866 and the VFW Auxiliary. And like we said, the rain is starting to taper off a little bit, but the crowds are on both sides of Central Avenue now standing to salute their veterans. The veterans of foreign wars, VFW Post 1866. And let's just take a moment to honor our flag and honor our veterans here on this Dairy Fest morning. We want to mention that in addition to the VFW, we are also welcoming the American Legion. Post 54 is right behind them, as well as the Disabled American Veterans Group, which is also known as DAV. They're a little bit behind there, but we can't say enough about our veterans here in Marshfield, Tom. I heard this stat this week, and I was kind of surprised. They're waving at the veterans. Did you know that, oh, by the way, this is the Poppy Queen, Alexis Rhodes. This is her second year as the Poppy Queen. A lot of times if you go to the Marshfield Post Office or Fleet Farm or Walmart, you'll see some of the veterans selling poppies as a fundraiser. We have a pooch on the side of a motorcycle. But Alexis Rhodes is serving as our Poppy Queen, and you know Alexis a little bit. She goes to your church.
She certainly does. She goes to Faith Lutheran.
This is her second year in that role, and she said her little sister is up next for next year, so that's a really neat program. These are the American Legion Riders. They go across the state of Wisconsin and do different things, and of course representing their veterans groups as well. Many of them have served in the military in different capacities, so we can't say enough about our veterans, and it's a great tradition here at Dairy Fest to honor them.
And I dare say their vehicles are a little higher grade from what they had when they served.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. And so next we have, and we have to see what the next group is, because like I said, there might be some people who kind of pulled behind. Okay, so Tom recognized a couple of minutes ago we have our Purple Heart City designation. And so the American Legion is now showing off one of its banners from that designation about 3 or 4 weeks ago. If the cameras can just show that for a second. A Purple Heart City is a very big honor, and for Marshfield to get that, and by the way, they're the third place float, the American Legion with the Purple Heart designation. That is such an honor for them and such an honor for Marshfield for the way we honor our veterans, and they definitely deserve that kind of recognition. By the way, today's parade, everything is butter in Marshfield. That's the theme of the parade today. I would add that there might be some margarine of error. Coming up next, we have Marshfield Mayor Lois Teestrick is coming up. Before her, though, I had a chance to talk to these people on 2nd Street. Tom, did you see the DAV van? This is the Disabled Veterans Van. It's basically a service that will haul veterans to their VA appointments. And so this van here it's a very fancy rig. And so if you don't have a ride, you can't get to your VA appointments, they're looking for volunteers to help drive this van. Perhaps that's something you can do in your retirement, is haul veterans around. It's a very classy rig, isn't it?
We do owe everything to our veterans.
Up next is Marshfield Mayor Lois Teestrick. And boy, was she on fire yesterday. The mayor's breakfast, of course, is the very first thing that we do for Dairy Fest, and that's kind of a tribute to our mayors. You know Lois a little bit, and she loves shaking hands and kissing babies and doing all the political things, but Lois is our second female mayor. Of course, our first is Marilyn Hardiker, which is a great friend of yours back when she was here.
And Marilyn helped start Dairy Fest back in 1980, along with Elmer Fry, the mobile home magnate from Marshfield here, and your predecessor, WDLB's
right.
Les Leonard.
We don't want to let these guys get away. They didn't have a sign, but the parade marshals today are Scott and Lisa Berg and Dorothy Berg. Scotty is with Scotty's Pizza and Chicken. We read the Hub City Times article. Scotty is one of the 150 of the leaders of the past and present. Scotty told his home ec teacher in 9th grade that he wanted to own a restaurant. And 6 years later, he bought the old Spike's restaurant, and Scotty's Pizza and Chicken was born. Tom, I'll never forget that day in August of 2001 when Scotty's had their fire, but it was basically Scotty's rose through the ashes, didn't they? They built a new restaurant, and they've been named Mackey's 2022 Firm of the Year, Small Business of the Year, I should say. And for 15 straight years, Scotty's had the best specialty chicken. You ever have Scotty's chicken?
All the time. I wish I had it all the time. It's very good.
It is.
It is. And I was so glad to see Scotty among Marshfield's 150.
This is the first place organization. It's Land O'Lakes Cheese Plant in Spencer. Of course, that's a John Deere tractor, an old 630. That's how old tractors, it has a hand clutch if any of our viewers know anything about farm tractors. And of course, they're throwing out cheese and candy, and it's a really neat group. And they're going by the theme like we just talked about, everything is butter in Marshfield. And they're also sponsored by the Discovery Education Center, which is a new organization in the city of Marshfield in the last few years. They provide educational programs and workshops for children and families to empower minds and build connections to a brighter future. So thank you for the Discovery Education Program and for Land O'Lakes and Spencer.
And an amazingly colorful float.
First place organization, congratulations to them. It looks like they worked really hard on it, and that's great. We have a little break in the parade. I just want to mention that today's parade, you're going to see some civic organizations as well as commercial floats. You'll see politicians and dignitaries. Obviously, 2022 is an election year. Or 2024, I guess. What year are we anyway?
Well, 2022 was.
And so we're going to be seeing some dignitaries. And I guess we'll let the dignitaries go by if they bring us mozzarella sticks and some candy and tarts and whatnot. But definitely a lot of people in addition to the bands. We did mention the UW-Madison Marching Band a little while ago, but we also have the Columbus Marching Dons. And the Marshfield High School Marching Tigers are going to be in today's parade as well. So if you like music, definitely a treat in addition to the other floats that we have here.
And that's been a real tradition for Marshfield's Dairy Fest parade, is to have a lot of bands there.
You know, there's been some years, and it happens every once in a while, where graduation for Marshfield High School will land on Dairy Fest Saturday. That's not the case. They had their graduation commencement last week. But yeah, it's great to see some of these kids come out and perform in front of somebody. What an honor for them to be in marching band and come to a parade. While we're waiting for the next floats, we have a little lull in the parade action. By the way, it looks like the rain kind of stopped. We just want to thank the crew that's behind the scenes here. Tom and I get to talk sassy and smart in front of all you. But we want to thank David Ballerstein, who is our producer. Tom Laux is the supervisor, and he's also the head of the communications department at the city of Marshfield. Our camera people, Don Furch, Kristen Cherney, and Chris Kelly, we thank you for your work today. And then Angie Holken is in the van in back of us. She's our audio engineer. So thank you to the crew that's getting us up. So if you can't watch the parade today, or if you're going to watch it after the fact on demand, these folks are what makes this possible, and we thank them as well.
And if you're watching the parade live for us, with us, there's going to be a whole afternoon and evening of things going on down here. So come on down and enjoy them. Before we came to the parade here, I took a walk down 3rd Street. There are some arts and crafts.
And that's a new thing this year, is the art show, the
there
craft
that,
show.
I was just going to say they did not have those in past Dairy Fests, and they're well covered, so you can see a lot of talent and a lot of artistic things. Also, right by there is the Upper Mansion.
Yes.
And for years, the Upper Mansion has hosted their pie and ice cream social.
And that's the
when
Northwood
I walked
County.
by there, they were planning it to have it again.
That's the Northwood County Historical Society is housed there, and that's one of their biggest fundraisers of the year. Not the hottest day, but maybe a little bit muggy in the afternoon. So yeah, definitely come and get some ice cream and play around in the splash pad, and it's going to be a good day to get out and take the family, because the rain's not going to stick around for long.
No,
so
it shouldn't much anymore now. It's pretty well stopped now.
we have our second place business coming up. I believe this is Boards and Brush of Marshfield, also Waltman Crafts. So this is an art studio that's located on East 4th Street. Basically, they specialize in teaching people how to use raw materials to make arts and crafts. Their specialty, if you will, is kind of signboards, but they're kind of a newer organization, the city of Marshfield, and they were excited to be out here today, and had a nice chat with them before the parade as well.
And the cow is keeping everyone in check.
It is. They have some of their audio equipment on their truck. And it looks like they have some dancers on the street doing kind of a performance as well. So, when's the last time you danced at a Dairy Fest parade on purpose?
I don't even want to remember. When you get to be of a certain age, those are kind of things that, you may not want to remember.
I have a lot of good memories of taking our kids to Dairy Fest. You and your kids back in the day. Of course, you worked a lot at Dairy Fest when you were the news director of the radio station. WDLB Radio for so many years was an integral part of the Dairy Fest parade. We have a lot of memories and a lot of good, beautiful days when Dairy Fest was held through the years.
At Dairy Fest, and I wrote about this on Facebook yesterday, but Dairy Fest really is one of my favorite times of the year. And as a local news reporter, it's one of those few times of the year where everybody comes to you.
Yeah.
All you have to do is be at the right place. The breakfast, the parade, and everybody will come to you.
That's right.
And you can talk to them, and you can talk to them about anything, and they will tell. Most of them are fabulous ambassadors for the regions they serve.
I want to make an observation that despite the rain that we did have, the streets are filling up, and that's so great to see. There's not a lot of little open spots like there were maybe 15, 20 minutes ago. I would say on an average year we have thousands of people that come to South Central Avenue to watch this parade, and kudos to the people that risked it a little bit and came out and toughed it out, and here they are.
Well, before the pandemic, the routine number used to be 20,000.
Wow.
That had been mentioned. And of course, some changes were made then. And it's taken a little time for things to catch up, but year after year, they're coming back.
They are, and Marshfield's a community that celebrates a lot of things. We have a very active Main Street Marshfield program as well. Obviously, the Chamber does the Dairy Fest, but we have the Hub City Days coming up in July, Maple Fall Fest, and other events too. And it's so great to go to these things. It brings people together, brings people out to support their city. And I tell my kids this a lot because they're in college and they have left home for a while, that Marshfield's a place to definitely come back to. There's so much here. Great school system, great businesses, great things to get involved with. And this is just one of the best, Dairy Fest.
But we know what we have here, and we like to share that with people. And we don't often say that we're just a few miles and stone's throws away from Clark County, Marathon County, two of the largest dairy producing counties in the United States.
And you were talking about Marilyn Hardiker before. Marilyn said something to me 20 years ago that I never forgot. She says, okay, if you want to travel somewhere, and if you have to get to an airport and you have to go to Mosinee, it's what, 35 minutes. How many people in Minneapolis and Chicago live within 35 minutes of the airport? Not many. So if you look at it from that perspective, we really have a nice place here to live, and it's great that we come and celebrate that.
It is.
There's the cow doing the boogieing again for the board and brush. We thank them for being here today, passing out candy and having a good old time. So Marshfield has a new business that's bringing in a lot of excitement.
Ooh,
yeah. People are throwing things at the announcers. It's called the Gray Dog Axe Throwing Club, and so it's on 4th Street, kind of right across some boards actually. And if you want to have a bachelor party, a wedding anniversary party, a Christmas party, whatever, you can go to this facility and throw axes. They also have pool tables and other games, a really good selection of pizza and other foods. So watch these guys as they take a look at it. They throw their axes, and let's see how accurate they are. Again, they're called the Gray Dog Axe Throwing Club, and they have a lot of games, and we're waiting for a bullseye. Can you hit an axe? Hey, bullseye! There it is.
You know, I'm too busy admiring the General Lee bike that's here.
The General Lee mini bike is going past us now at this time, and
The Dukes of Hazzard was a great TV show because I grew up with kids who loved it.
The General Lee, the Dukes of Hazzard, and Hazzard County. That's when TV was really exciting back then, wasn't it? The Incredible Hulk and all those TV shows from the late 70s, early 80s.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. I want to take a moment to talk about the Marshfield Agribusiness Committee here for a few moments. This is a Chamber of Commerce extension, if you will, part of Mackey. Yesterday they honored Dennis Bangard. Dennis was a good friend of ours, a good friend of agriculture, and he passed away last year on November 1st, and they honored him with a Lifetime Achievement Award posthumously. Dennis has done so much for our community. He was the chairman of this agriculture committee for all the years that he was alive. He stepped down last year when he was ill. But we want to mention that it was such an honor to know him. It was an honor to recognize him and his wife yesterday and his children, and he's done so much. So thank you, Dennis Bangard. The Marshfield Agribusiness Committee also has recognized some of the seniors who are graduating. This year is the Marshfield Tigers Marching Band, and let's take a few moments to listen to the Marshfield Tiger Band as they go down Central Avenue.
Under the direction of David Carroll now, but for many years under Dennis Kramer.
That is a classic song that the Marshfield High School Marching Band plays every year. Build Me Up Buttercup. Do you remember who Who sings Build Me Up Buttercup? Do you remember who
No.
played that? I can't remember either, but Build Me Up Buttercup, that's the Marshfield High School Marching Tigers.
Build Me Up Buttercup? Oh, yes, the
Is it
Foundations.
the Foundations. I think it is the Foundations.
And then it was the UW band that made that
They did that too. So kudos to the Marshfield High School band. That was a very nice touch to stop playing and then sing it vocally. And is it Andrew Niedner is now the band director of Marshfield High School, and so we thank him for that as well. Coming up next is a group that's near and dear to my heart, Rice Martial Arts Academy. I'm actually a second-degree black belt with Rice Martial Arts and Taekwondo.
I better not cross this guy.
They are celebrating their 10th anniversary in the city of Marshfield. Last year they were founded in 2013. They're in the old Book World building. Dan Rice is the sensei, and Richie Rice, his son, the second generation taking it over. There are 123 black belts on the register of Rice Martial Arts Academy. And it's anywhere from white and yellow belts. Of course, the tenets of Taekwondo include courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and self-respect. There's Mr. Dan Rice there. Go ahead, grab that microphone, Dan Rice. I don't know if we can get you on, but congratulations on 10 years in the city of Marshfield and for a nice float today. Business going well, and it's definitely a program not just about karate, but about discipline and goal setting.
Yes, 100%. And we really like starting with the children young, teaching those, installing all of those values that we hold dear to us, and teach them how not to fight. Which
There it is. Well, thank you.
a twist.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dan Rice, the sensei of Rice Martial Arts
Don't catch up
Academy.
with your group.
The first place float is coming up is the Marshfield Public Library.
And it's the best of show.
They are the best of show float. Of course, it's the Everett Rail Public Library now. I was surprised to hear this. Marshfield Public Library, they serve 163,000 visitors every year. That's how many people go through the door, serving our community since the year 1883. They're open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., or 8 p.m. I should say. And they are the best of float, best of show today in our parade. And it's a slippery slope when you start getting into butter, I tell you. But boy, look at that. They went all out with their decorations, and she is dressed as a stick of butter. Jill Porter is the head librarian now. Lori Belanja for years was in charge of the Marshall Public Library, and what a great organization.
And Dale Barkowiak was Lori's predecessor, and he was named to Marshfield's 150 a couple of years ago.
Dale's wife for many years worked at the Laird Center at the Marshfield Clinic and kind of coordinated things there.
Barb's just tremendous.
Forward Bank is a very big supporter in our community. I had a chance to talk to them as well. They have 13 locations in central Wisconsin, offering home loans and consumer loans and agricultural products. And looks like they have a piggy bank. Look at that piggy bank and all the coins that you could keep in there. Of course, nowadays there's not a lot of physical currency. Like Tom, you have stocks and bonds and millions of dollars in Swiss bank accounts, I know.
And you
right?
know what? I still keep all my change in a sports cup.
This is the Wood County Democratic Party going through. They have their regular meetings in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids. And they have their van going through. Of course, this is an election year. And you're going to see lots of politicians and dignitaries on the parade route today. And they, I think, have their headquarters here in Marshfield as well. So this is the Wood County Democrats. Just a special, and we'll talk about this later on when our assembly representatives go through, but redistricting happened this year. And so in areas where you may have been voting in one district, that might be different now. So if you are an active voter in the city of Marshfield, maybe do some research on who your candidates are and where your border lines are. Very important. And there's the August primary this year and our general election coming up in November. So I wonder if redistricting maybe shifted some of the voting places too here in Marshfield. I'm not sure about the venues.
All I know is that I go to the old library, the 2nd Street Community Center, and they haven't kicked me out yet. So.
This is Pet Supplies Plus. They are located in the former Sears building on Marshfield's north side. They're carrying natural and U.S. made pet supplies, plus grooming services and adoption services. They're open daily from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's Pet Supplies Plus. And look at that pooch there, all decorated and tie-dyed. And these dogs are very well behaved for the parade route, aren't they?
They certainly are.
Coming up next on the parade float is V&H Automotive on Marshfield's north side. I'm going to take a drink of water. V&H Automotive is your area Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer. They have over 230 vehicles, new and used vehicles on the lot. V&H is a big staple in this town, aren't they, Tom? They've been around
and they've
a long time.
expanded so much over the years. They've had, now they have a separate car dealership and a separate one for their large truck business. And
what does the V stand for? It was Thomas is
they've
the
had.
H. Who is the V? Do you remember?
Von Holzen.
There you go. That's what, yeah, right.
And Floyd Hamas is the H.
They have a very impressive float. It looks like a float. They have a flatbed truck or a trailer on a Ford truck with miniature cows and straw and hay bales. They're in their sweatshirts. And looks like they're throwing out candy to the goodies. Candy to the kitties. Say that 5 times fast. V&H also has they have a stellar service department as well. If your vehicle breaks down, they can usually get you in pretty quick, and oil changes and other issues. Unfortunately, everything breaks down, doesn't it?
True, but it is drying up a little bit here, so it is getting easier to throw that candy out.
It is.
Absolutely. It is getting to be better parade weather as we speak, folks.
Coming up after them, well, actually V&H has a number of rigs in the parade here, because in addition to this trailer, they have the mobile service Ford van, and that's going by now as well as some Jeep and Ram vehicles that probably came straight from their lot this morning. Very nice vehicles. And someone has bubbles. It looks like there's bubbles on the parade route. Not just candy, but soap and bubbles. Tom and I are now grandparents. I have 2 grandkids. How many do you have? 5?
I have 6 grandkids, and we now have 5 great-grandchildren.
And they love bubbles, don't they?
Yes,
if
they
you want to
do.
entertain a small child, get out the soap and bubbles. It's a very nice Wagoneer from V&H Automotive. Unfortunately, the vehicles, they cost a little more than they did when you and I got our driver's license.
They have more in them, too.
That's true. They're gussied up a little bit, as they say. Here's the V&H all-electric shuttle bus, or shuttle car, I should say. This is an electric vehicle, no gasoline. And the shuttle is kind of nice. If you drop off your vehicle for service, one of the shuttle people will take you to work or pick you up when your car is done, and just another nice touch. Next is Bruce Orthodontics. You ever have braces, Tom?
No.
I haven't either, but I probably should have. They have locations in Marshfield, Rhinelander, Monaco, Eagle River. So they're kind of a Northwoods company, but they recently came to the city of Marshfield. They do orthodontic practice and treat patients of all ages. They're committed to delivering the highest quality of orthodontic care and the most advanced orthodontic technology. So that's Bruce Orthodontics. They have walkers on the parade, as well as a nice trailer.
And they have stereo horns, Pat.
Yes, they do. Butter believe we are changing lives 1 smile at a time, is what it says. Let's stick together with butter. Next, we have Treeweiler Companies. They're another staple in the city of Marshfield, aren't they? The Treeweiler Construction Group. And on their trailer, by the way, is the Marshfield Youth Soccer Association. So these kids are soccer players, and they're going through the parade route and waving, and that's a very nice float with the soccer team. Ooh. Looks like our youth soccer program is pretty active. It looks like there's a lot of kids that are involved with that. Treeweiler Companies are proud supporters of Wisconsin dairy farmers, it says on the side of their booth. A little bit about Treeweiler Construction. They're a 4th generation business now. And they're committed to providing wastewater treatment plants and facilities for municipalities across the Midwest. They're another company that's based in Wisconsin, based in Marshfield, but they're all over the place, aren't they?
Certainly are, Pat.
This is First State Bank. Do you remember the old Pioneer Bank?
Yes.
So Pioneer Bank is now First State Bank, and they have locations in Auburndale and Marshfield as well, and other eastern Wisconsin spots. And they offer personal, business, and agricultural loan products as well. And very active bank, very active institution in our city. They get involved in a lot of things. They give a lot of money out to charitable causes. And everybody dressed in their red butter shirt. Everything's butter with Marshfield. And a very nice display as well. Looks like we have a Mustang here. A young lad. Very nice car. Have you ever had a Ford Mustang, Tom?
I have not had the thrill of that.
We were just talking a moment ago about local companies that have a big impact all over the place. And this one is definitely one. This is Grassland Butter, Grassland Dairy Products of Greenwood. They're one of the biggest butter manufacturers in the entire world, and they're in Greenwood, Wisconsin. The Wietrich family has worked with hundreds of dairy producers throughout the years to build up their business. And since 1909, they've been crafting butter for 5 generations now. So there's 5 generations of the Wietrich family. That's an impressive rig. You'll see Grassland butter. You can be in Florida, you could be in California, and you go to a restaurant, they serve you butter. That butter will say Grassland butter on the label.
I know, I've been there. And you know what? Every time I think of Grassland, I am of that certain age that I associate Grassland with Howie Sturts.
Oh, yes. Yes, big time. Howie Sturts was a broadcaster and a musician, in this area.
And when we had senior citizen days at the fair, Howie would have, and his orchestra would be there in the afternoon, Thursday afternoon, every single
for
fair.
For sure.
And he filled the grandstand.
So Rail Transport is the sponsor of the Columbus Catholic High School Marching Band. And they are coming up next. It's under the direction of Tom Zimmerman. Columbus Catholic is dedicated to excellence in Catholic education and founded on love of Jesus Christ and designed to instill faith, knowledge, and a desire to serve others. Right now they're in the midst of a capital campaign where they're building a new gymnasium at Columbus High School. And ground, I think, has been broken. And that's going to be a very nice facility.
And just to mention rail for a minute, you mentioned that Grassland, there's hardly a place you can go in this country without seeing them. Well, there's hardly a highway you can drive on in this country without seeing a rail truck. Classic red trucks.
You're absolutely right about that. The Columbus Dons, you just heard Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. We caught that one. And they had their graduation a few weeks ago as well. Let's hear as they do their cadence and start their presentation here at the Dairy Fest Parade. This is the Columbus Marching Dons. Marshfield Columbus Marching Dons. And as I said, under the direction of Tom Zimmerman, who's been the band director there for years. We have our first place business float now. That is Nelson Jameson. Nelson Jameson is a single source food, dairy, and beverage processing plant supplier. They make conveyor belts, components for dairy plants. They are headquartered on the south side of Marshfield in the old Figgy's Dana Center building. And boy, they have a nice, they have some people dressed up as butter sticks as well. They have a nice rig with a van. And looks like a carton of milk on their trailer back there. That is a very nice float.
Ooh. Ah,
So for the younger
cow
crowd,
thrown at me. Oh, the poor
for the
guy.
younger crowd, Tom, that is Taylor Swift and Shake It. And so they're saying that you have to shake your milk.
There we
And
go. You
that's
know
all
what?
part of the Nelson
You
Jameson
picked that up.
parade
That's
float.
yours there,
the first
my
place
friend.
business
That's
float
yours.
in today's parade. We have some small little dairy stock here. And they appear to be dry and comfortable now that the rain has stopped. The Citizen State Bank of Loyal is our next float. They have locations in Loyal, Marshfield, Spencer, Granton, and Neillsville. Proud to be an independently owned community bank serving the needs of agriculture as well as personal and commercial. They're a member FDIC. And looks like they have a Chevy truck going through the parade float today.
And for me, Pat, that bank will forever be associated with Bob Meyer.
Well, for sure. Our old colleague who was a farm broadcaster and later an ag loan officer. And he, of course, is from Loyal, so he did all of his banking at Citizen State Bank of Loyal.
And another great member of the Wisconsin Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
He
We
is.
inducted him last year.
He is. I'm sitting next to a WBA Hall of Famer myself. Sometimes I feel like Joe Buck introducing Troy Aikman when I talk to you. Hall of Fame broadcaster Tom Garrettson. Tom, this is your church. This is Faith Lutheran Church.
It is.
They have morning worships every Sunday at 9 a.m.
That's right.
And their mission is loved by God, living for others. And Tom, you are actually a member of their choir. Is that correct?
I still am.
They're the second place organizational float.
And you are going to see that 70 up on top. We celebrated our 70th anniversary.
Oh, how about that?
And our pastor, Heather Brown, is giving us the peace sign there.
And there's our Poppy Queen once again coming through the float a second time, Alexis. That's a very nice float. So congratulations to them. And another biggie in the city of Marshfield is H&S Manufacturing. They've actually been acquired by a larger corporation called Oxbow International. This is a large manure spreader, and H&S Manufacturing is a staple in the city of Marshfield. They build forage and manure handling equipment. They also have a facility in Clintonville, Wisconsin. You will see a Chevrolet pickup truck carrying that 6180 manure spreader. If anybody is listening to us and they remember the old farm days when you had to pitch manure in a small spreader, this is a different story, folks. This is mega. And this kind of equipment is sold all over the United States and abroad. Actually, China buys a lot of the H&S equipment. It's trucked over the ocean, and we're proud to have H&S Manufacturing in this community. The Heikkinen families, who are no longer part of it, but were so active in our community for so many years. And H&S, of course, is a big sponsor of Dairy Fest and other events in the city of Marshfield, so can't thank them enough. They're located in the industrial park, and they've been there a long time, haven't they?
Yes, they have. And you're right. The equipment has gotten bigger and bigger over the years.
It sure has, and farms have gotten bigger. A lot of people don't realize this. You know, there are fewer farms. You drive around the countryside and you see a lot of empty barns, but we're actually milking more cows than ever with our bigger farms, and we're producing more milk per cow. So Wisconsin's definitely not in danger of losing its dairy state designation. We don't make as much milk as California, but we make a lot more cheese, and dairy is definitely a big thing in this state and a big driver of our economy.
You know, the license plates don't lie, Pat. We are still America's
They
dairy.
do not, and the quarter. I remember when Jim Doyle was the governor, he decided to put a cow and a block of cheese on the Wisconsin designated quarter. So. Next is changes within. They're a chiropractic clinic in the city of Marshfield. Dr. Patty Schumacher and Dana Rogers, who grew up with my kids. And they also do chiropractic services for youth and children. And so definitely a staple in the city of Marshfield, and have been in the south side of town for many, many years. You know, children need chiropractic too, and that's one of the things that changes within. They try to bring in kids to make sure that they're adjusted the proper way and living a healthy life.
Talk about an agricultural tie-dye shirt. That's Wisconsin through and through, folks.
We have another lull in our parade. I just want to mention a couple of the dairy breakfasts coming up. Tomorrow on June 2nd is the Granton FFA Alumni Breakfast between Marshfield and Neillsville, and the Abbotsford Dairy Breakfast. On June 9th is the Neillsville Dairy Breakfast, if you want to get out that far. June 16th is Father's Day, and my favorite is the Marshfield FFA because they have the blueberry pancakes. That's going to be at the Seehafer Farm, the City View operation up on 97. And then Loyal Dairy Breakfast also on Father's Day every year. On June 22nd is Pittsville and Auburndale, and then Colby's is on June 23rd. And if you can go 5 weeks, Greenwood FFA having their dairy breakfast on June 30th. So 5 weeks of dairy breakfast in our local central Wisconsin community. Hopefully you can get there.
And we do have the first place youth float coming by right
This
now.
is an amazing thing. This was in the Hub City Times this week, Tom. The Spencer Rama Loyalty. Now this float was constructed by the high school geometry and construction class and also by the advanced metals class. And they have their Spencer Rama Day Parade coming up in a week or so. Miss Spencer Rama is Hannah Schreiner. Junior Miss Spencerama is Brooklyn Vandehay, and little Miss Spencerama is Sophia Felix. And they're looking pretty on their floats. That's a very nice float that they made in their high school class. And they're going to be at the Spencer Rama Day Parade coming up in Spencer. You know, the Spencer Rama Day Parade took a little hiatus for about 20 years. It was a big thing in the 50s, 60s, and 70s and 80s. And throughout the 90s and 2000s, Spencer Rama Days kind of went away for a little bit, but they brought it back, and there's nothing about community pride where you can have a festival in your town.
And they should. You know, we've had, Stratford's only 10 miles from here, but you know, they'll forever, at least in my mind, be legendarily known as the place of the bed races.
Yes.
And I have been in more than one of them.
Staub Construction coming up next. They're one of our premier builders of municipal and industrial water and wastewater treatment facilities. They're civil contractors. A lot of people don't realize this about Staub Construction. They're 100% employee owned. It actually says it on the truck. And that's kind of neat to see employees kind of come together, run a business. Aaron Staub and the Staub family had this for many years, but they are all over the Midwest. They're not just a Marshfield company. They travel and do these wastewater projects for municipalities all over the Midwest. And so great to have them here today in the Dairy Fest Parade. Good Shepherd Lutheran Church is coming up next. They're located next to the YMCA and that scenic Bluff Hill. They do their worship every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock a.m. and they have youth programming on Wednesday evenings as well. Their mission is to share the ministry of Jesus Christ and proclaim the good news. And so that's the Good Shepherd Lutheran Church on our right. On our left is the Marshfield Clinic Health System. Now, of course, the Marshfield Clinic is a staple in the city of Marshfield. They have their, coming up in a little bit after we see some of the walkers and the candy throwers, they have their mobile mammogram and breast cancer unit. Breast cancer, of course, is one of the leading killers of women, adult age women, and early detection, of course, is key to preventing breast cancer. And so if you want more information on that, you can definitely go in there and ask about the mammogram. It's basically a mobile unit, and they go to communities all over the state of Wisconsin.
It is so important for women to have mammograms and for men to have colonoscopies.
It is. It really is. So we have Kelly Garfield here. Do you want to say a few words? We're on a live broadcast right now. And she didn't know that.
Hi, Kelly.
I was going to say something.
Okay. Something, you know, I am a second-degree black belt. Maybe she got intimidated. I don't know. But
I was going to say, she comes from the Mark Knoyer.
she is Mark Knoyer's wife.
Yes,
Mark is
indeed.
the ag teacher at Auburndale High School. And I remember Kelly from high school myself showing cows and whatnot. And so here's the mammogram mobile unit that we were talking about a moment ago. They're giving bags, Marshfield Clinic bags to some of the kids who are trying to get candy and treats. And the streets, I'm sure the cameras have caught it. The streets are filling up now, much more. People are coming out. We had some rain earlier on in our parade, the first 5-10 minutes or so, and things are kind of clearing up. It's getting to be kind of a nice day.
And if you are careful, if you're observant, you'll be able to see some shadows from these vehicles.
Oh,
which
sure.
tells you the sun is coming
The
out.
sun is coming out too. We'll take it. Absolutely. So I thought we would see an actual bus. Is it Kabusen? Is that how you say their name? Or Cobbleson Bus Service. They're actually the bus service.
Hi, thank you.
They are actually the bus service, thank you, of the Marshfield School District. And they're out of Adams County. They serve a lot of school districts. And they're not just school buses, but they serve, they have wedding buses. They have charter buses to events. And that's a family-owned company as well. And they have been for many years. Hey, I think we have another one of our bands coming up here in a moment.
We are.
Okay, so this must
And
be
if you know the song, you know the band,
so
my
that's
friend.
them.
The
First, we want
University of Wisconsin.
we want to bring special
Marching
attention to
Badgers,
the.
folks.
We have a ladder truck from the Marshfield Fire and Rescue Department. They're here every year, and then right after that is our marching UW-Madison marching band. Let's take a listen.
When you say Wisconsin, you've said it all.
Under the direction of Corey Pompey, the UW-Madison marching band. You might as well not. They perform weekly at Camp Randall Stadium. That is the UW-Madison Marching Band under the direction of Corey Pompey. They get around, and so after this, they are actually going to Newburgh, Wisconsin, to be in their Firemen's Parade. Next week, they're going to be at Circus World Museum in Baraboo. But boy, if you ever get to a Badger, what did you say? It's the pre-show, the halftime show, and the fifth quarter. The marching band is so amazing, and they get all over the state of Wisconsin. What
And
a treat to
after
have
every
them there.
touchdown and every
Oh, of
score
course.
and every rally and every timeout, they're there somehow.
Such a treat to have them here today. Simplicity Credit Union coming through with a Chevrolet truck. They have branches in Marshfield, Millsville, Stevens Point, Plover, and Neenah. See Simplicity Credit Union for your next mortgage or auto loan or for your college student education. And they just held their grand opening at their new branch in Neillsville just last week. And Lori Buffington, who for many years was the branch manager here in Marshfield, is now the branch manager at Neillsville. She has ties to that community. And Simplicity Credit Union, definitely a credit union on the growth, definitely.
And a great example of an area company that has grown regionally and has stayed true to its.
And they do so much for the community. My good friend Ben Bauer and a lot of other folks coming through with their shirts and their bags of goodies. And we'll take some mozzarella sticks, sure.
You guys want chiplet?
Sure.
Thank you.
Power Pack Equipment on Marshfield's south side is coming up next. They're on Highway 80. I used to say Highway 13, but it's not. It's Highway 80 now. They are a John Deere lawn and garden equipment store, as well as some of their recreational, jet skis and boats. Today they have a Warrior speedboat. They're being pulled on a GMC truck. Of course, they do a lot of service. If you have a lawnmower or an ATV that needs some repair, they have a service department. They do financing, and definitely a full-fledged company in the city of Marshfield. It's been around a long time.
They certainly have. The Trulin family has just been, they've been wonderful.
This looks like a pontoon boat. That's impressive. Have you been on the water lately, Tom?
No, I have not. I've been close to the water. I do a lot of water walks close to lakes.
And it's neat to have a small business in the city of Marshfield that can sell you more than just lawn and garden equipment. I mean, this is really neat to have a lot of the watercraft that they have. Like I said, ATVs, mules. I don't think they get into motorcycles. I could be wrong about, but we're talking about utility vehicles. This is a Polaris vehicle coming across right now, and definitely a very nice float. A longtime friend of yours and mine, Sharon Hellwig, is coming up next, and the Remax United, or American Dream rather, Realty. Sharon has been a realtor in this city for many years. She probably sold you your first house, maybe, huh?
No, I'm sorry she didn't actually. Maybe she should have.
And her late husband, Dan, was an architect in the city of Marshfield, and I remember him because he was the one who designed the Wildwood Pavilion. And I knew about that because you were my boss back then at WDLB Radio, and I attended all the meetings where they had to decide what they were going to do with the pavilion. And Dan Hellwig was a part of that.
And so now, highly regarded.
Oh, so much. And so now Sharon Hellwig has been a realtor. She took on the Remax brand about 10 or 12 years ago. And that flamethrower, that gets somebody's attention, doesn't it? Wow. Hot air balloon team.
Those are what you see when they introduce the starting lineups back.
And the reference to that is Remax is known for its hot air balloons. And so this is a basket with a hot air balloon motor. Of course, they don't have the balloon. That's how hot air balloons get off the ground, is you shoot fire and hot air into them. So this is neat. I talked to these guys before the parade. This is Taco Bell. Taco Bell has never been in the Dairy Fest parade before. They were excited to do it. You can get Taco Bell with DoorDash. Well, thank you very much. And if you want a taco or a burrito, they're located on the corner of Central Avenue and Upham. And so they were just excited to be here today. They've never did it before, and they decided, hey, let's do the Dairy Fest parade.
And they did it up colorfully.
They're south of the border. Is that kind of their slogan? The Republican Party of Wood County is coming through now, and they are an all-volunteer grassroots organization dedicated to promoting conservative Republican values in central Wisconsin. Their meetings are held in Pittsville every month. This is 107.9 Big Cheese, and if you ever heard Trav in the morning, it's a big popular radio show. My favorite is the Casey Kasem reruns. Every Sunday morning they play a rerun from Casey Kasem 1980s. And how neat is that?
American Top 40.
Yes, American Top 40, Casey Kasem. And it is such a neat treat to go back in time. This is actually part of a collection of radio stations by NRG Media. This one is 106.5, today's best country. The next one is 96.7. So NRG Media, throughout the early 2000s, bought up a lot of radio stations, and they bought out some of these big FM stations in the Wausau, Rapids, Portage areas, and they're here today. This is Donna Roser, and a good friend of ours is
Hi, Donna.
out there kissing babies, and grab a microphone if you would.
Oh, I will.
So you're kissing babies and shaking hands today, and
Well, we go pretty fast, so you
Yes.
have to kiss them really fast. I'm blowing kisses to babies today.
indeed. Well, thanks for being at the parade. We're glad the rain stopped.
Try for you. It
is.
It rained before.
We got here when it was raining, and we had ponchos on, and then the rain stopped, and we went ahead and took those off, and now we're running the parade route.
Well, thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you all. Y'all are wonderful.
Thank you.
What you do, you know you are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We want to
Well,
show
thanks
you
for
the
stopping
Melody Gardens
by.
float because
Yes.
this one is a real special one. So Melody Gardens is celebrating their 50th anniversary. It was on November 9th, 1974, when Alvin and Gladys Brock opened up Melody Gardens. And for 50 years has been just the place you take your kids to go roller skating. So this year, Margie and Jim Schmidt are now the second generation of the Brock family. Her sister Debbie had it too for a while. But Melody Gardens, do you remember Melody Gardens before they built the restaurant when it was just an ice cream parlor?
No, I do not.
So they built the restaurant in 1991 and is definitely just a neat thing in the city of Marshfield.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, they've always had that.
This is Grace Church of Marshfield, Grace Baptist. They're located on Lincoln Avenue. And they have their VBS coming up on June 9th through the 12th, Vacation Bible School. And nice little jungle theme going on there, if we could catch that. And we're glad to have them at the Dairy Fest Parade today as well. We have a lot of realtors in today's parade, and we were talking before about the city of Marshfield being a destination if you're a professional. And they're building new subdivisions and new houses, and people are moving out and about. And we have a number of realtors, and one of them is Rita Blinker from Century 21. She is our next float. Rita has been active in the real estate business since probably 1981, I want to say. Century 21 has been in Marshfield since 1979. And you can go to c21goldkey.com for commercial listings, residential listings. And Century 21 slogan is defying mediocrity. Looks like she has a golden doodle, maybe in that truck, if you know your dog breeds. You're not a big dog fan, though.
No, I am not.
I know that about Tom.
I'm more of a cat connoisseur.
He likes the cats better. I think that's a golden doodle. I have a grand dog that is a golden doodle. My daughter Ashley has a golden doodle.
It looks like a globe.
Century 21 has a lot of agents. They are very active in this community, both with charitable causes and also just getting out there and helping people buy and sell their homes. And so it's good to have them here year after year. And Rita is such a supporter of our community, and glad to have her as well.
A number of very important people in this community have been Century 21 real estate agents.
They have. She told me she sold all the properties that Quick Trip purchased, and we have 4 Quick Trips in this town, and Rita Blinker sold all of them. So I wonder if she gets free gas points.
I'm sure she had her card. Hi.
All right.
Ooh, thank you. Popcorn.
Coming up next is a church from the Spencer area called Faith Journey and their club 316 Club. 316 is a reference to John 3:16 in the Bible. They're located north of Marshfield, just off Highway 13. And their youth group meets on Wednesdays after school, all school long. Looks like they have a covered wagon as part of their float, and it's very creative. They did a nice job with that. And singing with the guitar, some praise music. That's a very creative float. Very nice. And it's nice to have floats from other towns like Spencer to come and support the Dairy Fest Parade in the Marshfield area. It's a way for them to kind of get the word out too a little bit about who they are and what they do.
We are one big happy community, aren't we?
You like strawberries, Tom?
I do. I love them.
We have Rayburn's Berry Patch coming up next. June is not just dairy month, but it's strawberry picking month. And they have their pick your own, and then you can also come and get strawberries already picked.
Did you have dessert at the mayor's breakfast
I did,
yesterday?
that strawberry ice cream yesterday. It was delicious. Yes. And so Rayburn's is located just west of Marshfield. They have over 40 acres of strawberries. June and July are kind of their big months. And Rayburn's Berry Patch. And that's looks like an inflatable strawberry. And you can find them on Facebook to get their hours and make some arrangements to come and pick your own berries. So, are you guys passing out strawberries or candy today? Actually, she has, looks like a voucher coupon. So thank you for being here today.
A reminder about where they are.
That's right.
Absolutely. And they have been part of our landscape for as long as I've been
They
here.
have.
That's
You know,
a
picking
long
strawberries is a
time.
lot of work. But gosh, it's worth it. You know, if you have it on strawberry shortcake or like you said, making, you know, a topping for ice cream, definitely a treat.
And it is good exercise going out there to pick your
Oh,
own.
isn't it though? It sure is. Seehafer Refrigeration coming up next, and you know, they kind of cater to the dairy industry. A lot of the people in the parade route probably don't own milking parlors or dairy cattle, but Seehafers is definitely another revered company in the city of Marshfield. They are a dealership for Balmatic, Mueller, and Lely. These are farm products that get a lot of attention on our dairy side. The company was started in 1976 and now owned by the second generation of Seehafers. And they travel to dairy farms in a 90-degree radius. So they don't just fix the dairy equipment in this area. They get out, like I said, 90 miles away. And we're definitely glad to have the Seehafer family and for all they do in our community and for all they do for our industry.
I took a photo of that cow before he was totally dressed. And one of the people taking care of them said, "Oh, but Tom, we haven't dressed it up yet." Well, I wanted to let people know about the parade if they didn't already. So
Farming is our bread and butter.
I need to get the finished product here.
That's a neat cow.
It is very.
One thing about Seehavers, they also supply software. So nowadays, dairy cattle, they wear a neck, like a transponder on their neck. And so when they come to get milked, the transponder will tell the computer that the cow is in there, and all the records show up, and it's definitely neat. Next one is another one special to my heart, Shirley's House of Hope. I am kind of their unofficial spokesperson, I guess you could say. I MC all of their banquet events. And Shirley's House of Hope was started, back in the early 2000s, well, in the mid 2000s, I should say. They are a Christian-based shelter for women who are pregnant and in abusive relationships. Julie Crevillian was one of the founders with Sue Poole. Sue has since retired. And the third founder was a lady by the name of Shirley Koopman, and Shirley passed away. And so they named the ministry after Shirley. That's where you get Shirley's House of Hope. And so they have a number of parade walkers. And what is that car? That's an old Buick. I wonder what year that Buick is.
It's from the Hearing House. The
That's
buyers,
very nice too.
Todd, Karen.
Boy, the kids get a plethora of candy and treats just being on the parade route today, don't they?
Absolutely, as well they should.
We should get more dentists and orthodontists to pass out their business cards at these parades. Are you in the mood for a teeth cleaning after going to the parade?
Oh, we have to give that a rest for a day. There are
Indeed.
foods I shouldn't be eating either, considering my health. But how can you live in Wisconsin and not have a civic duty to support June
that's
Dairy
right.
Month?
Do you remember in the old days when Dairy Fest used to have fireworks show on Saturday night?
Oh, yes.
And I think just with the cost of things and having it so close to the 4th of July, they kind of nixed it after a while. But I remember many years in the 90s going to the fairgrounds to watch the fireworks after
yes.
Dairy Fest. In Dairy Fest, and we want to say this again, we said it earlier in our broadcast, there's activities in the town square this afternoon, the Pie and Ice Cream Social at Upham Mansion. There'll be food trucks, the splash pad will be open, live music and entertainment. We saw Rice Martial Arts Academy a little while ago. They have a demonstration later today. And so if you can get out and bring the family out for some family activities to the Wenzel Family Plaza today, there's a lot going on. And definitely lots to do yet this weekend. The parade isn't the end of it. I believe this might be Acre 96 Event Center. It's a wedding barn. Wedding barns are kind of a thing nowadays. They're all over the state of Wisconsin. And their wedding barn is over by the Millador area. It's a place to have a birthday party, a wedding, an anniversary party. And they're taking bookings now. You can contact Don or Mike Brandel for your event. They are on Facebook. Or you can email them at acre96eventvenue@gmail.com. You ever been to a wedding barn ceremony? It's really cool.
I have had families that have their own wedding barns.
Oh, sure. Family Health Center coming up next. Family Health Center is actually located in the old City Hall building right next to us. They used to be part of the Marshfield Clinic, and they branched out a year or two ago. Their thing is if you can't afford health care, they have low-cost healthcare services and also low-cost substance abuse services. So if you're struggling with a substance abuse like drugs or alcohol, Family Health Center has a number of counselors that can meet with you at a low cost, and they're really growing. There's a big need for these things, and like I said, they're located now at the City Hall Plaza here on Central Avenue. Coming up next is another one of our Christian radio stations, 88.5, the Family Radio Network. Their radio station for years has been in Millador, but they're now part of a network of stations that are in Green Bay, Oshkosh, even a satellite over by Eau Claire. And
Thank you.
live 24-hour Christian music and programming. It looks like they're sporting their Toyota minivan today. It's 88.5 The Family, WGNB.
They've
Looks
been
like they might have
around for
a
number
puppy.
of years.
It looks like a puppy doll, a fake puppy with its head out the window. Our next float is another church that has a big name in this community, Faith Fellowship. It's located on West McMillan Street. Pastor Rob Snitko and his staff and pastoral staff invite you to worship with them at 10 o'clock a.m. on Sunday mornings. They also have a very active youth program. And boy, that float is very impressive. It looks like they made sticks of butter for their parade float on their trailer there. We're buttered together with Faith Fellowship. And that is impressive. Good thing it's not a hot day. Their butter would have melted all over the street by now.
Well, maybe not though. It's still in the 60s. I don't know about you, but we're still kind of cool here. I'm glad I got my long sleeves on.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so glad to see the crowds come out today.
Absolutely.
This next booth is the Roselleville Lions Club. The mission of the Lions is to empower and have volunteer and partnerships with their local communities to improve their communities, as well as humanitarian efforts. We were talking about the Honor Walk. Roselleville also has banners in their town, and the Roselleville Lions does that. And so if you ever get to Roselleville, check that out.
Most of the smaller communities around here do have them. Marshfield, if it wasn't the first, they were close to.
Oh, for sure. Festival Foods is our next booth. Festival Foods, of course, from produce to the pantry. They have spirits and meats and all the groceries in between. They invite you to help celebrate June Dairy Month. Of course, Festival Foods located on South Central Avenue or North Central Avenue in Marshfield. I remember when it was Rainbow Foods back in 1987.
It certainly was, and that came after Rolla Home, the mobile home manufacturing.
For some of us old geezers, we remember what the city of Marshfield looked like beyond McDonald's, and it looks a lot different now than it used to.
It looks a lot fuller now.
By the way, we were talking about the Roselleville Lions Club. They handed us a sheet. They have a summer shindig on August 10th, so free admission. And bring your pets, and if you want some live music and some entertainment, come to Roselleville on August 10th. So that was very nice. State Representative John Spiros is coming through next, and we mentioned this before. This isn't a political statement or anything like that. But Donna Roser was the representative in the 69th Assembly District, and they have since moved and shifted the alignment of borders. So now they both live in the 87th District. So now if you vote Republican and you're in the city of Marshfield, you have to choose. So we invite you to do your homework. Go to myvote.gov. Figure out what district you live in, who your representatives are. There's a primary in August. State Representative Spiros used to be on the city council here in Marshfield. He served as an alderman from I think 2005 to 2012 before he became an assembly representative. And there he is out there just waving and greeting people along the parade route. And he's sporting a shirt that says Spiros 86 for being in the 86th district. By the way, that affects the state Senate districts too. And so you might want to do your homework if you're an active voter. Another one of our real estate companies are coming through. This is Next Home Hub City Realty. It's Ashley Frederick and Stephanie Spaeth are the brokers and their staff, and they're helping clients buy and sell their homes, not just in Marshfield, but in surrounding areas. And they have a banner as well as a GMC truck, it looks like. And all these real estate firms they stay busy. There's a lot of people who move to Marshfield. There's people who upgrade their homes. Of course, interest rates are moody this year. They go up, they go down, and people kind of make their determination if they're going to move or buy a house or flip a house, depending on what's happening with the interest rates. But another one of our fine real estate companies in the city of Marshfield. And I think they've only been around maybe 4 or 5 years.
If that.
One of our next floats is the Oddities, Magnas, and Games. Now this is located from the old Shopko Plaza. It's a new game store, and they're on West Upham Street. They offer a wide variety of products for hobbies and for games, and also video games. And so that's a newer business. I think it's their first time in the city in the Dairy Fest Parade. Again, it's called Oddities, Magna, and Games. Looks like they got a Jeep Wrangler truck today. Thanks for being here today. Oh, sucker.
Thank you.
Hey, we're
sir.
a real sucker for the sucker. Thank you. We have all kinds of. We have cookies on our table. We have cheese sticks. Tom and I are going to have a feast after this is done. Jonathan Barnett is the next one. So here's what's going on in Wood County politics. District Attorney Craig Lambert is stepping down. And so Jonathan is the assistant DA in Adams County. And he's running for district attorney in Wood County. And he decided to make a parade appearance today. Looks like he's sporting a Ford SUV. Another Christian radio station is 89Q. Hope is here is their slogan, and they have their Toyota vehicle. Their station's slogan is to fulfill the Great Commission by bringing hope of Christ to individuals and families in central Wisconsin. They're also very active in the community as well. They do a lot of charitable events. They sponsor a lot of things, and so it's good to see our radio stations serving their communities, just like this guy did back in his day.
And you too, Pat.
I remember being a youngster in my grandparents' house on summer days, and we'd listen to Paul Harvey, News and Comment. And when Paul Harvey was done, we'd listen to Tom Gerritsen deliver the news. And I never thought I'd be next to your side someday, being mentored and cultured by one of the best.
Thank you. And that was 30 years ago. I met
goodness,
this guy.
40. Yeah, you and I worked together 30 years ago. Back in 40 years ago, those were the days. We have a couple of fire trucks, and from what I gather, I think this is the town of Cameron, which borders the city of Marshfield to our south, and the town of McMillan, which borders us to the north. They are both volunteer fire departments, and they are bringing, it looks like, a tanker truck and their ladder truck. And we can't thank them enough, our volunteer firefighters. And obviously,
Volunteer firefighters.
obviously
My dad was one.
Your father
He had a radio at home.
Wow.
That paged him to calls at any time of the day or night.
And they're well trained. They keep up with their certifications, and boy, we can't thank them enough for the service they provide here locally in our local towns and municipalities.
You would be amazed to know some of the people who have really saved lives.
for sure.
And that's true in this community, it's true in every community. And it doesn't matter the structure of the fire department.
That's one thing about
Whether it's volunteer, whether it's full-time, whether it's unionized, the basic core of any fire department is the same. They're going to save your lives if they have
that's
the
for
chance.
sure. So again, just that looks like it's the conclusion of our parade. We want to remind everybody once again that the Dairy Fest activities continue on. There's the softball games at the Fairgrounds Park throughout the weekend. At the town square throughout the day, we have lots of activities. Tom, it's been my pleasure. Tom is a Hall of Fame broadcaster, and perhaps we'll do this again next year. Perhaps it'll be a little bit nicer weather.
Well, we'll see. I kind of drove the camera people nuts. They were doing their. Come on, Tom! Look at the lens.
Well, hey, it's a pleasure to do this. We thank the Marshfield Now channel for all they do and for putting this together each day. I'm Pat Sternitsky. This is Tom Gerritsen. Thanks again for joining us for our parade coverage today, and enjoy the rest of Dairy Fest.